Hi, I'm Jason Bryan from the Short-Time Wrestling Podcast and founder of the Mat Talk Podcast Network. Shows on the network are individually owned and operated, and those opinions presented and expressed may not reflect others, the sponsors, patrons, or the parent network. Find more shows about the greatest sport in the world at the Mat Talk Podcast Network at mattalkonline.com.
The mind of Pat Popolizio is a wondrous thing. And for you Pack wrestling fans, you'll get to go inside the mind of the Skip each and every episode here on the PackMentality Pop-Ins podcast. Now, here's your host, NC State Director of Athletics Digital Communications, Brian Reinhardt.
The ACC grind continues for the NC State Wolfpack wrestling team, and we're back with a brand new episode of the PackMentality Pop-Ins podcast. I'm your host, NC State Director of Athletics Digital Communications, Brian Reinhardt, and I'm with the head coach of the Wolfpack, Pat Popolizio. Pat, talked about the grind. We're grinding away midweek here. It's not just on the weekends.
No, and I apologize in advance for pulling you out of your lunch once again. I didn't know you must get up pretty early if we're already eating lunch at 11.
I don't eat breakfast, so This is my meal. But I will say, episode 76 of the podcast, I've yet to receive a free lunch, even though we do it at lunchtime every time, so I bring my own.
That's all right. Well, eventually we'll get a sponsorship.
Okay. Sponsors, reach out. Salad today, too, by the way.
I know, healthy. I can see it in your face. You're losing weight.
I keep looking at it over there because I'm really hungry. But great weeks of action here. We keep hammering it home. 3 straight Friday nights on the ACC network. Doesn't get any better. Ranked opponents every week. Yet again, the grind continues. Top 10 battle this weekend up at Virginia Tech.
Yeah, these Friday night duels have been great for the ACC, and I think we're getting good momentum and people tuning in. And obviously the situation we're in right now, there's not a ton of duels that are happening, like in years past. I think you would get a lot of matches on a Friday night, and now they're pretty selective. So this, the last couple weeks have been great, and then obviously going into Friday is going to be another spectacular duel.
We've been a couple months in the season now, and usually this time of year, you're usually one duel anyway, but you missed all those early fall duels. Are your guys getting enough matches right now from a head coaching standpoint?
I think so. I think the way we've been training, we're in a good spot. I think it shows when we're out there competing. The guys look focused and sharp, and that's really a lot of times, you're trying to get the experience that you need. We do have a lot of guys who are already experienced enough, and the hardest part is, not being able to wrestle in the beginning to see maybe who can separate themselves at a certain weight class. It's been more of going off individual results. And not having the common opponents and guys in the same tournament sometimes gets a little challenging.
I think on the flip side of that, these extra matches, you pointed out you really like them. After these duels, it is a great environment. The whole team's there cheering them on. You coaches, you're actually at these extra matches too. And our guys have been performing pretty doggone well in these extra matches. Yeah,
it's been really good. I hope this is something we can keep moving forward with the NCAAs, but the focus – I think it keeps these guys zoned in. And if we ever need to pull one into our starting lineup, they haven't missed a beat. And a lot of times you get in these open tournaments, kid maybe hasn't competed in a month, and you got to pull them up into our lineup, and they're not competition ready. And this is a different situation now where we can pull these guys in, and they're going to be competition ready, and their development is on the fast track right now. And that's what I love about these extra matches.
Now, speaking from experience, I think I've worked with you 9 years. You're not the easiest guy to work with. We all know that.
Oh, you're crazy.
But
look who's talking over here.
I was going to say, so honestly, strategery here with you coaches. Is it easy to put these extra matches together? Is there a little sportsmanship, or do you guys just want to go out and get your guys matches?
There has been no issues matching anybody up with anything. Everyone's been extremely flexible. There's if anything, I think people try to chase down the tougher matches for their guys, so it gets those guys ready.
All right, great answer.
That's the reality. I don't know where you're going with this.
I would like to hear some other ACC
we might have to talk offline now
about you. All right, UNC, everybody knows, Wolfpack, Tar Heels get together, all eyes on that batch. NC State came out ahead, 28-10. 3 bonus point wins, 2 tech falls and a fall really pushed that team score up there. Impressions of the win over UNC this weekend?
It was good. I love their focus, the intensities. Anytime you get a duel like that, there's great intensity, and our guys were ready for the challenge, and they embraced that kind of duel in that environment. Obviously, the no fans. I don't think that changes the intensity of the duel. Even though you like that excitement of a crowd, guys know that there's eyes on that match, and they get up for that every year.
Did you notice the music in the background during the matches?
I sure did. I liked it.
Any requests that you made?
I like to mix it up. We do it in our room. We got to be,
Okay.
One day is maybe rock, next day might be country, next day is rap. We got a good thing going in our room right now.
I was going to say, pulling back the curtain, I stopped in today. Great music selection. A lot of Red Hot Chili Peppers.
That was on request today, so okay. I do like the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Okay. Back to UNC Duel. Once again, like you said, extra matches, not open tournaments. You're giving some guys some competition at some weights. We saw at 133, Ryan Jack went out there. Trombley obviously is in the room as well. Where do we stand at 133?
Just seeing what we have when we go out to compete, and we're going to get another big test Friday night. So we got to be ready to go. But yeah, we're looking for somebody to really step up, take one of those wins. The ACC at 133 is pretty deep. So every week there's going to be somebody new that we got to go out and compete with.
I don't know if you're allowed to talk controversy on here. I'm not sure what ACC officials listen to the podcast. Do we want to dive into what happened during the 65 match?
It's funny you bring this up because as a person that's been in the sport for so many years, I don't know, we want to date it back, but I'd like to say 30 plus years in wrestling, and I can't answer the question for you. So okay. I don't have an answer. I've actually called, reached out, and just want to know what that was called for. If I had a bet on it, I guess they called it a legal kickback, but I still don't have clarification on it.
Okay. Yeah, there's a lot of confusion, to be honest with you.
Multiple people have reached out and said, what did they call the point for? And I still don't know. But if I had a guess, that's what I would guess on.
Okay. Well,
even though I don't think it was. But.
I was just going to say, we'll get out of here without you saying anything, but then you just said something. Edit. Where's that edit button? Friday night, Virginia Tech. It seems like every year, Pack and Hokies, the dual championship comes down to when you guys meet. This year, no different. They're loaded. You guys are loaded. How exciting will this duel be? It's
going to be good. Good energy, great intensity. And that's what I think as a wrestler is what you live for, to go into these kind of environments and these kind of situations and put it on the line. It's the ultimate setup for great wrestling, college wrestling. Sport needs more of these dual meets, and it's going to be exciting.
Friday night, 8 o'clock, ACC Network, NC State at Virginia Tech. Right off the bat, if we're starting at 125, top 10 battle right here. Camacho's number 4 in the rankings. Latona, he's in the lineup this year at number 8. Even though they're both young, they met a couple of times, one in freestyle, one in folk style, I believe, last year. And Camacho's just has really been dominant here in the ACC, getting bonus points. Latona, another taller guy, getting a lot of bonus points. These two are at the top of that weight class in the ACC.
Yeah, definitely. And two really good guys that wrestle really hard, tough, hard-nosed guys. Going to be a great match. It's time for Camacho to step up and get a win, And what I love about him is the past doesn't matter. It's what tomorrow brings. We've seen that with some of his competitions. He'll rise to the occasion and compete, but he's got to be ready to go against an elite guy that's having a great career and a young guy too. So it's going to be good. That's going to be a big match come Friday night.
We saw a number 1 ranked wrestler in the nation at 149 last week. This week, NC State sees a number 1 guy again, 165, Mikayla Lewis. First of all, the ACC at 165, how loaded is that weight class?
It's got to be the best in the country. I know we don't have as many teams as certain conferences as far as depth goes, but I tell you, the talent level, especially in 165, that is legit. That's going to be a fun conference tournament at 165. Every match is going to matter.
165 has 5 guys in the top 15, and I think some guys are just a little lower because they keep knocking each other off.
Yeah.
But as you say, Bullard here, he's getting Lewis this weekend. Suffered that defeat to Kennedy, but hey, you got the number 1 guy now this week.
Yeah, you got to put the past behind you and focus on the future. And that's another short-term memory match we got to have. Again, it's typically we'll go through a season, get 20 matches under our belt, and I bet you right now Bullard would win the majority of those matches. And you get in the ACC, and you're looking at, you know, the elite guys right now, and we're squeaking out a win here and there and taking a loss. Any given day, he's dangerous and can beat anybody in the country. So, yeah, we got to be ready to go. Obviously, you got a returning national champ. You know, you got to elevate your game and intensity to compete with the best guys in the country.
I think everybody will agree the premier matchup up at 184, number 2 Bolin versus number 4 Trent Hidley. These two did battle last year, very close matches last year, both won takedown bouts. Trent wants this one, I think, probably more than any other match so far this year.
Yeah, he's a competitor, doesn't like to lose, and got beat by a really good kid that's just tough, hard-nosed, great wrestler. That's a match that's going to be – those guys wrestle really hard and both put it on the line. You can tell they're both high-level competitors. I do think Trent's made some really good jumps, as you can see from this RTC Cup dating back in early December. And then now has his conditioning underneath him to where he needs to be at 100%. He's looked really good in practice. I think we got 3 matches under his belt now since coming back. So this is one that he's got to be focused, ready to go, right on the whistle, make his adjustments. That's a big thing. You know, you got to wrestle a guy twice now. You got to make your adjustments, which everybody does. And let's go out there and compete and see who's best come Friday night.
184 kind of sneaky good too, just like 165. Everybody Trent's faced so far is ranked right now.
Yes,
no exceptions.
That's another
class.
Good depth ACC. Yeah, and I think you got 2 guys right now that could wrestle in the national finals this year.
Up at heavyweight, you know, I'm not sure how these guys they're ranked a little lower in my opinion. Deontay Wilson at 19, Borst at 17. Deontay, that motor, he gets guys in the third period and just he's tough to score on. But this was a great match last year, really helped you guys make that comeback. Deontay's having a really solid season. Just talk about his improvement, and this is going to be a great battle at heavyweight.
Definitely. I love the style that Deontay Wilson has for heavyweight. He's in phenomenal shape, very athletic. He's got great speed and power. When he opens up, he's dangerous. He's very deadly, and that's the biggest thing right now is getting him to commit to some of these shots. And he can score at any time. All around, probably one of the most improved guys that we have in this room in the last year. And it'll be a good test for him again to see the jumps that he's made to go out and competing in a very good, tough environment against, you know, I think on roster they got 2 pretty good guys, and got to show up and compete at a high level.
That room at heavyweight right now, it's really improved this past year. Obviously, you brought in Trumbull. You know, I know he's 197, but he's rolling around with his heavyweights. Colin Lawler's in there. And Owen has really improved, put on weight. He's really pushing Deontay. Just speak about the depth now kind of at your higher weights.
That's been much needed, you know, having those guys pushing each other. And I think it goes back to the history here at NC State and the success that some of these guys in the past have had, going from Pete Renda to Machiavello to Gwizdowski. Kids take notice of that, and some of the better guys want to be involved and around that. And that's kind of the environment right now. These guys are all able to help each other, push each other. Obviously, Mach and Nick being here in our room right now, that's a big positive for these guys. One as a mentor, and then just picking up different little technical things from these guys is having an impact across the board. When you look at Trent and you look at Isaac and then you look at Deontay, those guys are all dissecting what's going on and utilizing that. And now you throw Ed Ruth in there, it's even more dangerous.
Ed still locking in some cradles?
Yeah, I watched him put a couple guys on their back the other day with that.
You?
No,
Not yet? Okay, no. Not yet. Okay. All right. Get you out here in this recruiting. Can't talk about guys you have not signed yet, but you've been in this situation. It's been a year now, the recruiting cycle, how maybe you guys can't go out and visit. They can't come here, but you're still getting elite talent that will be joining the Wolfpack. How is recruiting going for you? Have you gotten the swing of it?
Yeah, I think it's good. You know, you got to adjust, you got to adapt, you got to learn and evolve. And that's something our staff has done a phenomenal job doing. It hasn't been easy, but everyone's in the same boat. No one has an advantage. So we're the positive flip side to this is the development of the guys that are here. And that's what I love about what has happened is this has forced us to really put our energy and development into the guys on our team. And I think you're seeing that when they're competing right now, where in the years past, someone on staff was gone every week, every day, someone was on the road. And literally since last March, we have been here for the guys. And I just like the flip to this and what it's doing for our sport. And hopefully there's some adjustments made long-term that can put the emphasis on the guys that are here and less on going out and trying to find guys, which we naturally will do. So we'll see how this plays out. But I kind of like the situation we're in because, yeah, we're getting out there and selling our name and our brand and what we're about. But at the same time, we're putting the energy into the guys that are here already.
Talk about these coaches out on the road all the time. They're not able to go out. Is that why a couple assistants have had kids or are having kids? They got a little more time on their hands.
I think you're going to look back and see the COVID year as a big, was it baby boomer?
You either have a baby or you get divorced.
Yeah. Well, there you go. That's true.
Yeah. Your room, you've gotten some new additions in there lately.
Yes, there has been.
I don't know if we're breaking news here. There's people want that news out there, but either way. But,
we'll find out eventually.
All right, last one. Promised someone I would say this for 3 podcasts now, and I keep forgetting. But have a new service, Pat. You are a texting machine now. You are giving scoops out before duels. You're giving your thoughts after duels. Fans are getting a personalized text from Pat Popolizio, not from your personal phone.
Yeah, you want to see it, you want to know it. We'll give you some quick insight before and after competition. So sign up. You got the info, Brian. What's that number again?
I kind of wanted to call you out and see if you could tell us the number.
I can go back and look.
I have it written in front of me.
I know you do. That's why, Mr. Funny Guy over here.
No, but Wolfpack Wrestling fans, we're exciting new way you can keep up with the team. Sign up to receive text messages from the man Popolizio.
That's a tough one for you.
I messed that up on purpose.
You haven't had to say that in a while.
Pat Popolizio. We'll be texting some updates before duels, after duels. You're just going to be hearing Pat's thoughts right to your phone. Text the word Wolfpack to 844-928-4315. Again, that's Wolfpack, 844-928-4315. Pat, really, you're technologically really come around this season.
Definitely. We've ever since the podcast and the tech savvy.
Yep.
That's called evolving, Brian. COVID, you got to make your adjustments, and we've done that.
I personally have not signed up for this service. I get enough texts from you now as it is. But fans, this is a great way to get more info on the Wolfpack.
Yeah, it is good.
Cracked you up there. I like that.
Yep.
Okay.
That's exciting.
NC State, Virginia Tech, Friday night, 8:00, ACC Network. Lots of ranked matches, great battle every time these two teams meet. Pat, your guys are ready in practice today. You could tell the intensity's there.
Yeah, they're just excited. Again, each week that we get to compete, guys are thankful, and they know what was left off the table last year. So when we get a chance to go out and compete, the guys are going to be excited and bring good energy and just put it on the line.
Pat, thanks for joining us. Look forward to riding up on the bus with you this weekend.
You're coming on the trip?
I know you don't take the bus anymore, but
nice,
we'll see each other up there at some point.
Yes.
But Wolfpack fans, again, Friday night, Virginia Tech, 8:00 for the Wolfpack. I want to thank everybody for listening today. This is your Pack Mentality Pop-Ins podcast covering all things NC State wrestling. Until next time, Wolfpack fans, go Pack.
PackMentality Pop-Ins podcast is produced by the Matt Talk Podcast Network. For more wrestling podcasts, go to MattTalkOnline.com.